Hello everyone, and welcome back to another financial tip of the month from F3 Capital. With you as always, I'm Nathan Fox. I'm a financial advisor and I'm the managing partner of the firm. Today I got an exciting topic. It is on the A word. No, not that A word. The A word I'm referencing is annuity. You see what I did there? And annuities, of course, are somewhat of a controversial product. I've heard people swear they're the best product, others say they're the worst, and there seems to be this mix of information on the internet. Are they good? Are they bad? So today, I'm hopefully going to settle that for some of the viewers, and at the end, I will share with you my opinion and my objective professional advice on annuities. And before we do that, though, I just want to give an introduction. So really the purpose of today is for education. It's to introduce you to the different types of annuities and how they may or may not be right for you. Of course, sometimes the devil's in the details, and these products can be complex, but that does not mean that they can't play a role in helping you. So let's get into the overall kind of summary of the different types of annuities. As you'll see, annuities come in essentially two broad types. Now, the first type is what are called immediate annuities, and the second type is what are called deferred annuities. Within deferred annuities, there are multiple types, and I will get into all the major types of deferred annuities here in a moment. But first, let's start with what a SPIA is, or an immediate annuity. Now, annuities, whether it's a SPIA, immediate annuity, or a deferred annuity, are financial products that are issued by insurance companies. So it's important to just know that you're buying a product from an insurance company, and the guarantees that come with the annuity will be based on the claims paying ability of that insurance company. So make sure you just look at the ratings. Now, a SPIA, the example that I'll give is when somebody wins the lottery, do they take the lump sum or do they take the annuity? Well, that's essentially what a SPIA is. And that is when you give an insurance company a lump sum of money, and then they're going to guarantee you a series of payments over a lifetime, over maybe a period of time, like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. And there are different variations of how you can design your immediate annuity. You can receive the payments monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, annually, however you elect in that regard. Most are going to stick to monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, or annually. But as you receive the payments, you're exchanging a lump sum for a series of payments that could last your whole life. As an example, you may give an insurance company, $100,000, and they're going to promise you, let's say, $7,000 for life, as long as you live. Now, within the SPIA, or the immediate annuity world, there are different variations. You can do what's called a life with no refund annuity, which means you give the insurance company a lump sum. They're going to pay you that series of payments. And if you die, let's say, in the second year or third year, there is no death benefit to your beneficiary. So there are some risks. People will elect the life with no refund because those will generally have the highest payouts, because the company's not on the hook to pay the death benefit. Conversely, you'll have life with refund. So you give the same company $100,000. If by the time you pass away, you haven't used all $100,000, they will then give a death benefit to a beneficiary. There's also what are called period certain annuities. So example, you could do a 10-year period certain life annuity. This will pay you for life, but guarantees you at least 10 years. So you die in year 7, the payments will continue on for 3 more years. You can also just do a period fixed length, so 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and then the payments end. That's roughly how immediate annuities work. When you're looking at this, you'll generally see people gravitate towards these types of annuities who are looking to create an income distribution plan they cannot outlive, which can then alleviate some pressure points on their portfolio to allow them to play the long game with their other investments. If you have money coming in every single month that you don't have to worry about, well then that allows you to kind of stay the course on your other investments. The next type of annuities, the other branch rather, is deferred annuities. Now, deferred come in multiple types. Again, these are issued by insurance companies as well. And the big advantage with deferred annuities is tax deferral. Now, some people will elect to own an annuity within their IRA, so they're not gaining any additional deferral because the IRA already has it. Now, also with deferred annuities, they're going to come with what's called typically a 59.5 rule, deferred annuities, meaning You cannot access the money prior to 59 and a half. There are some ways around that, but I'm not going to get in that today. But nevertheless, you buy an annuity from the insurance company. You get tax deferral if it's non-qualified money or money outside of retirement. You then have a deferral period. And almost all deferred annuities will also have what's called a surrender period. This is a period of time where if you remove all of the money, you could get hit with a back-end charge. Typically, all deferred annuities will come anywhere with a 5 to 20% free withdrawal provision, meaning if you need 5 or 10 or 20% of your money, you can pull it out. So let's just start with the most basic type of deferred annuity. That is what's called a fixed annuity, a fixed deferred. This is very similar to like a CD. They can come anywhere from 1 to 10-year increments, maybe longer, but generally a fixed annuity is 1 to 10. You might see some annuities that have 15-year surrenders, but this is where you get a fixed interest rate. Sometimes they can have some variance to it, but most part you're going to get a fixed interest rate, let's say 5%. And you get that 5% every single year guaranteed for the full fixed portion of that annuity. Now, again, they might have some fine print that says the rate can fluctuate, but most of them will give you 5 years of fixed returns, tax deferred, which means you're not paying taxes until you need the money, which can be an advantage over a CD. So simply put, 5-year, 5% fixed annuity pays you 5% every year, tax deferred. The next type of annuity that you could run into is what's called a fixed indexed. So again, where people are attracted to the fixed annuities is the safety. The same reason people go to fixed index is for the guarantees. So most fixed indexes will come with a few features. First, you have an index to choose, an S&P 500 fund, or the insurance company might have some of their own proprietary indexes, and you're going to follow the percent change in that index. Within that index annuity, you might have a cap rate, which is the maximum amount of rate credit you can get. You might not have a cap rate. You might have terms called participation rates. There could even be what are called asset charges or spread charges involved in those annuities. Now, I don't have time to get into the intricacies of that, but the point being is if you're looking at a fixed index annuity, some things you want to be mindful of is look at the surrender, look at the indexes you get to choose, look at the fees, and look at if there's cap rates, fees, or spreads, right? Those can impact their performance. So those are just some terminology to research so that you can go ahead and maybe choose the best one for you. So to conclude, a fixed index will follow an index. You'll also have, most importantly, downside protection. So if the market goes down 20, 30%, you're typically going to have a floor of either 0 or 1, which means that you're only going to participate in the upside of the market. So downside protection, percent change in the index in which it performs, and then finally, there could be some features that you could add for a fee that are riders. This may guarantee income, it may guarantee a certain return or a death benefit, but there are kind of a la carte features that you could add to the annuity to help with things like income generation or certain protections for the death benefit if you want to leave a legacy behind. The next type of annuity that you could run into would be what's called a variable annuity. Now, variable annuities are different from fixed and fixed index in the sense that they have some fees that don't come with fixed or indexes. Essentially, you can get a fixed or a fixed index annuity with no internal fees. They may have a surrender charge, but you'll still have some liquidity provisions. But nevertheless, you can design both a fixed and an index annuity very lean for people that are fee conscious. Variable annuities, not as much. They're going to have what's called mortality and expense charge because there's a death benefit essentially charge, which means that if you invest in a variable annuity and you have $100,000 and the market drops to, let's say that account only has 50 and you pass away, your beneficiary is still going to get the 100,000. So the insurance company that's offering this will have an M&E charge. There'll typically also be an admin charge, administrative charge. Additionally, you'll be able to choose individual sub-accounts, which are like mutual funds. So think of it almost like how you choose funds in your 401k to pick and choose and to invest in. You'll have that same option within that variable annuity, and you can kind of build out a portfolio. Now, variable annuities won't have downside protection like both fixed index and index annuities have. They'll kind of go up and down with the market. So there are more fees involved, but you could potentially have more upside. Additionally, you get that strong deferral, which is important. So people that have already maybe maxed out other retirement plans that are looking for more tax deferral, a variable annuity could be appropriate. Also, just like the fixed indexed, you can add riders or additional features to the annuity to help with other needs. For example, income is a big one. They'll call it an income benefit, a guaranteed withdrawal benefit, or a GMAB, a guaranteed minimum account balance benefit, where if you buy the annuity, you're guaranteed to never have less than what you start with, or you could lock in gains. They have highest daily value credits. The riders that are available in variable annuities are similar for the index side. The biggest difference between indexed annuities and variable annuities is that the index come with the guaranteed floors, and the variable annuities are going to fluctuate more, but you will generally, not always, have more control over what to choose for investments in a variable annuity. That may be good, that may not be good, but you generally are going to have more flexibility in choosing the types of funds and the portfolio you want to build within a variable annuity. Finally, kind of more recently, you have what are called RILAs, or registered index-linked annuities, and they're equity-linked. RILA, registered index-linked annuities, will be kind of a hybrid, almost between a variable and a fixed index, in the sense that RILAs will, again, they'll follow an index, let's say like the S&P 500, but they'll generally have like a buffer. So for example, the RILA may say it'll never perform worse than 5%, but never better than a positive 15. So you can build this buffer in of positive, negative, to be able to kind of control your downside while also maximizing your upside. These are relatively newer, and again, they don't come with the same fees that come with variable annuities. They're generally more lean, so you can look at those as well. Again, those are for people who maybe like indexed annuities, but maybe want to control or have potentially more upside. Not always. These all annuities kind of mix and match. Not all insurance companies are offering the same type of products. That's why my recommendation here as we get to the end of what I think of annuities is annuities absolutely work. I think anyone out there, I will call them out, Fisher Investments. I see them all the time having 10 reasons to never buy an annuity. I think that's a bit disingenuous. Of course, annuities are not for everybody. It depends on your situation. Hundreds of billions of dollars are flowing into annuities every year, and not everyone that buys one is wrong. So I think it's a bit, disingenuous to assume that annuities don't work. However, they are absolutely kind of missold sometimes because there are details to them. So my opinion is if you're looking to create an income stream, or you're looking for downside protection or a safe place to park your money, annuities may do that. They're not meant to be competing with your equities. So if someone's trying to tell you they're just as good as equities but better, no, they belong a lot of the times in the fixed portion of your portfolio, or in more of the income generation portion of your portfolio, the tax deferral portion. So annuities work. If you have more questions here at F3 Capital, as I mentioned, we are an independent fiduciary wealth management firm. So we have no obligations to any of these big companies. When clients come to us, whether they have an annuity already or are looking at one, we kind of survey the whole landscape to offer what's best. So again, I hope this was helpful. It was a brief introduction. I know there was a lot to unpack there. If you have more questions, hit the link in the description and we can go over an annuity maybe you already have, or if you're in the market for one, maybe we can provide some clarity if it is appropriate for you. Thank you, and stay tuned for more tips of the month.